Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest Podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Hi, everybody. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. It's been a week.
Thank you, Stain, for making that phrase. Stain has made that phrase unutterable.
Oh, the band? The former
Stain.
band? Are they still a band?
I don't know. I'm sure. I'm always amazed because you'll hear about it like, oh, by the way, Reed is still doing concerts somewhere, or what do you call it? What was that? Hoobastank is out there doing concerts somewhere. You know, like, oh, really? They're out there? Like, that's amazing.
I said that when Hoobastank was touring.
Well,
Hooba what?
Yeah.
What's
Hoobastank?
What's a Hoobastank?
You know, people are learning about like, oh, 311. Oh yeah, you know, all those bands are doing something.
The greatest studio band ever. Horrible live. Great studio band though.
So
I guess we'll never be invited to a 311 concert.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, it is.
Well, hey man, what's
weird.
going on?
Nothing's going on, but that's part of the problem. But it is weird that when you do see bands like that. I think the Eagles are touring again, for crying out loud. They've retired like 7 times.
Don't they have a new lead singer too? Because the lead singer's like had throat cancer or something, like something super serious, and he can sing.
I don't know. Phil Collins, you know, the most.
No, he's no longer doing it.
Right. Well, he's no longer playing the drums. I think he just sits and. He doesn't even do that anymore because he used to just sit and sing.
Have you seen him lately? He looks beat up.
Well, you know, when you think about it, you know, Phil Collins, you could tune into almost any radio station in the late 80s, early 90s and almost be guaranteed to fucking land on a Phil Collins song. I mean, that guy has a lot of songs. The Protect Kayfabe, the job in which I do now, I hear a lot of Phil Collins. Like played over
Phil Collins, or is it what was his band called? Genesis, or is it Genesis?
Well, I mean, I'm saying I'm hearing Phil Collins, period. Like, whether it's Genesis or Phil, the band, you know, it's still Phil Collins. Yes.
Okay.
Studio. I hear that one every once in a while.
Yeah. No, that's a classic. Now that I found out, were you the one who told me that, oh no, somebody, I guess, discovered that music reactors are all liars. That they've actually already heard the music. They've always heard. They're not really reacting as if they was hearing it for the first time. That they're just play acting because it gets them the views from boomers who are like, "Oh, you're listening to In the Air Tonight for the first time." Oh, wait for the drum solo or into the drum part when it gets in the. It's like, oh yeah, everyone's heard that already. Like we're not.
It is music reactions, especially from like, I don't know, I guess late teens, early 20s, are fun to watch. I don't really think about the validity so much. Me, myself, I'm like, how have you not heard fucking House of Pain? It plays everywhere. It plays inside 7-Elevens and shit, I think. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how have you not heard Jump Around? But maybe somebody hasn't. I don't know. Maybe they've heard it, but didn't ever see the music video and realize that Everlast is white. I've some of the reactors that I have watched that like, holy shit, this guy's white. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people thought that of Vanilla Ice at some point.
they're
Okay, maybe that's
no,
going
no.
maybe that's
Like
going a bit too far.
that's a he is an
Oh, hey, listeners,
interesting.
mate, didn't see you there.
Vanilla Ice is a very interesting person.
He is.
He's 55, 56 years old. You wouldn't know it. He looks just like he did in the fucking late 90s. I just watched Van Winkle. This is his real last name. Robert Van Winkle. You ever heard of he's got a YouTube channel. It's called Vlad TV. You ever seen that?
Is he an impaler? I don't know.
Oh. God damn it, Francis.
I've never heard of him.
All right, so he interviews all kinds of people, mostly from what I've seen in hip hop and in the rap scene and in the gang scene as well. I have no idea who the fuck Vlad is, but he gets some good interviews. I've seen clips of him talking to Vanilla Ice, and Vanilla Ice is a charismatic dude. Like, and there's just, I don't know. I was like, okay, I've seen enough of the clips. Let's just watch the whole interview. It was like an hour and a half of him just talking about stuff. He's an interesting. I would love to talk to that guy. Like, I don't think I'd want to like.
You had your chance. You almost had your chance.
Well, I was at the same place he was. They didn't want anything to do with me. They didn't even reply to me. But I think it'd be fun to chit chat with him, just because I think that he's an interesting person and he's gone through a lot of stuff in his life. I mean, and they talked about it in this interview, is that if you really think about it, the incident that he had with Suge Knight, the one where everybody claimed he got, dangled from a balcony to sign papers over. But regardless of what happened on that balcony, the money that he signed over funded Death Row Records.
Right. So,
like, I don't know. I think that's just a very interesting bit of history. The guy has, like his CD was one of the very first CDs ever pressed. He made like the top 5 of the Billboard charts, not like the rap Billboard, but just like the regular Billboard charts.
Right.
It just seems like he'd be an interesting guy to talk to. I think that if I did start talking to him, he'd try and get me to fucking work for him, which I don't think I'd want to do that. But
hi Ginger, welcome. Happy to see you here. And yes, right, listeners mate. Japanese bluegrass thing. I mean, there's Japanese baby metal, which is like my favorite. But anyway, when you talk to them, you hear the Japanese accents and tones, but as soon as they sing, you would think that they were from the Deep South and speak somewhat perfect English. Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of you never knew that ABBA were super Swedish, right? Because they sounded,
there's a Dutch. I think they were Dutch that made one of the classic rock and roll 70s rock and roll songs. You wouldn't know they were Dutch, listening to it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of a lot of these foreign language musicians, is they get to, when they sing in English, because they have to sound it out, right? Like, to them, they're just like they're mouthing sounds. They're not really singing words. They're just mouthing sounds. So that's why they can sound so American, or so like they have perfect English. Because to them, it's just they're singing nonsense, and it's like Red Hot Chili Peppers, right?
Just scatting.
Right? Yeah, that's them doing English. So yeah, no, that's good.
I think I need to learn Spanish, Francis. Not need to, but it would be helpful.
Why?
Protecting kayfabe. My job.
Oh,
I interact with a lot of Spanish-speaking people, like straight Spanish speakers that don't or can't or whatever. I speak English to them. They just look at me and no English. Okay. So I break out the Google Translator and say things into that. And I know it doesn't put it in its right grammar or whatever.
Doesn't matter.
it gets the point across.
Exactly. The most important thing is that you understand each other.
Yeah.
You know? Who cares if it's broken? You have to be able to speak.
Yeah.
Because look, as a person who is often mistaken for being Mexican and is often spoken to in Spanish, it's rather frustrating to not know how to reply because,
especially
I look like
when
I
you
should be able to speak it.
Especially when you're handed a plate of hash browns with a swastika on them. Like, I'm Filipino.
Well,
what does I got to do?
I'm sure. Well, look, it's not like your state has had a lot of my people over there. So, no, I'm kidding. I'm sure there's plenty of them over there.
I don't know. I know there are definitely a handful of Filipinos in Colorado for sure, but
we spread ourselves out.
Well, it's good.
We like to do service stuff, and I bet you a bunch of nurses are Filipino. So, but yeah, I mean. Yeah, learning the language, that's tough, since there's no perfect way to learn language. So I don't know.
I had to tell...
I've always wanted to learn language.
I had to tell so many people one particular phrase. I don't, protecting kayfabe because it's too on the nose. But I just went and learned it in Spanish. Because I kept saying it over and over and over. I'm like, let me just figure out what this is in Spanish because I'm tired of these people just looking at me going like, what? Not like frustrating, like, oh, these fucking people. No, but like it's a communication barrier. And even pantomiming what I'm trying to say to you isn't getting across. So let me just figure out how to say it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely in a service-based industry. It's definitely tough. I've been very fortunate that I never had to really learn another language. I haven't been forced kind of to learn another language. Like I've been perfectly fine with my English.
Well, what's really funny though is the phrase in which I took upon myself to learn, and its English counterpart aren't really any different. Like. The main object is the same word with more letters.
Can I be mildly controversial?
I mean, that's what podcasts are for. That's what Twitch is for, isn't it?
Let me be mildly controversial. But I think that people who speak another language, who don't feel comfortable speaking English, I think they do understand you, but they don't want to have to be forced to speak English. So they force you to learn the language and speak the other language. I bet I'm sure they understand. I've encountered many situations where they did understand. They just felt embarrassed to speak in English, or to even just respond in a way that they say they understood, because then they're on the hook for like, now you know English, then I can talk to you. Like, no, talk to me in Spanish. That's better. And plus, you get brownie points. You get brownie points with the community if you can speak the language. Like, they'll give you like free food and stuff. They'll take care of you when you make the attempt, because people love when you make the attempt.
Well, I mean, I spoke before about how me and the lady friend went to a taco joint, and when the lady came to the counter, she spoke to me in Spanish, and so in my head, I just went, "Oh shit, they don't speak English here," and I forgot how to say 22 in Spanish. But I know how to say 2. So if I say 2 twice, they'll understand what I'm trying to say.
Dos.
So I just said, can we have dose number 22s? And the lady looked at me.
No way. You said dose number 22?
Yeah. Because I told you, I don't remember what fucking 20 is. So I'm definitely not going to remember what 22 is. So she looked at me, looked behind her, smiled, and went, so you want 2 number 22s? And I was like, in my head, I was like, son of a bitch. But it was a funny moment. Everybody had a good time.
Well, look, Lister's Mate has the basics down, at least, where he knows how to introduce himself in Spanish, let the ladies know that they're muy bonita, I guess, or hermosa, which either one is fine, I guess. And then, donde está el baño?
That's always, Actually, somebody did come in, and he did say el baño. while he also said a whole bunch of other things to me that I didn't understand. And then I was just like, ah. So I quickly said something into the Google Translator, which part of it was, did you ask me for where the bathroom was? And he read it, and he just was like, yes. I'm like, okay, clearly you need the bathroom badly.
Yeah, he said, my butt will explode in Spanish.
So, like, I mean, like, it's not a bad thing, right? No. I'm not very cultured, so, you know, it'd be good to,
well,
I mean, I try.
That's not a matter of being cultured.
Well, I mean, kind of, you know, in a sense. I don't know. Yeah, the new job thing, despite its frustrations, it's going okay. Did I mention to you, Francis, that somebody called me a motherfucker at this new job?
Why? Wow.
Hey,
wait, a customer or an employee?
A customer.
Okay.
Protecting kayfabe. I do order fulfillment. We'll say that. And
you're not protecting kayfabe very well.
So while fulfilling an order, this order had something in it that required an ID for purchase. So upon fulfilling the order, I mentioned to the customer, hey, I'm just going to need to check your ID because there's something in this order with a restriction. Might be an adult beverage, might be medicine. I don't know. But I need your ID. And he goes, well, shit, I don't have it. And in the back of my head, I said, did you not drive here? Are you not in public? You are supposed to have your ID on you at all times. It is actually a ticketable offense to not have your ID on you. Nobody's going to give you a ticket, but you could.
Or, yeah.
And then he goes, wait, maybe I have a picture of it. And like a lot of states, Colorado has an app that shows a digital copy of your ID.
Really? I think I'd check if I have that. That'd be cool.
So we as a company, we can accept the physical ID or the digital copy with some checks of the digital copy to make sure it's not just a picture, a snapshot, a screenshot. Right. So this particular customer pulls up a picture that is 1/3 of his face and doesn't even have his full last name in it because it's cut off on the other end. And before he even passes his phone to me, I can't take that because I need your ID number. I need to see the whole ID, and I need to at least see your whole last name. So I can't take that. I can clearly tell this person is older than I am. But now he's starting to argue with me as I'm fulfilling his order. And he's on the phone with his partner, yelling and screaming at her. Not really at her, but in the frustration that this piece of shit guy at the order fulfillment place is not fulfilling my entire order because of this ID issue. And gets off the phone with his partner and says, well, I'm going to tell my person to never have orders fulfilled here again. And the whole time I'm just fulfilling his order with a big shit-eating grin on my face. And inside, fire just burning because I want to say so many things to him about not having an ID on him. As I'm pantomiming putting order fulfillment that you guys can't see with my arms right now. So I've just finished his fulfillment of the order. And he says, you're making a mountain out of an anthill. And I said, well, if you had brought your ID to begin with, we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we?
Oh, jeez.
And he
look
goes,
at you stoking the fire.
He goes, you're a fucking piece of shit, you motherfucker. And I went, cool, well, we're done here. Have a great afternoon.
Did you give him stuff?
Yeah. I didn't give him the thing that was restricted. I took that. I made sure he saw that I took it out of his order and walked back into my, area of order fulfillment.
Your area of expertise.
Yeah. What I really wanted to be like, in turn around and be like, is that really what you want to go with? Like, try harder, man. I got really thick skin. I've already been called that 17 times in my life. Try harder.
So this is why I'm glad I haven't been customer facing in years.
Mm-hmm.
Because customers, when I was a customer facing guy, customers, for the most part, were pretty meek and pretty apologetic. Like if something bad happened or they were angry, they didn't really take it out on you, right? They kind of just like, okay, this sucks. I just want this fixed. How can you fix this?
Right.
Not like I'm going to call you names or I'm going to yell at you. Or none of that stuff.
Right.
It's like, how do I fix this? I just need to get this. I don't like, I worked at a movie theater. I hate this movie. What can I do to get a refund? Not, you're an idiot. Don't, why are you, like, none of that stuff. So nowadays, though, people are bold. Nowadays, people are just like, I am ready to scream at you because we've been given the okay thanks to social media. You see it all the time, people yelling at other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's go yell at people and call them names. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. Like you kind of don't really have to, but part of it I understand it has some of that.
Right. And look, I mean, most of the time, I don't even think this is going out on a branch. I think most of the time when people scream at other customer service people, it's because they're already having a shitty ass day about something else. And that's, that interaction is what, broke the camel's back or whatever.
Well, for instance, I used to be tipped, even though you weren't supposed to, at the movie theater for good customer service, whatever. Like, for some reason they wanted to, tip you. Or if you found somebody's lost stuff and they check their wallet and all their stuff is there, they'll usually just give you the money out of the wallet and be like, thank you for not stealing any of my stuff and finding it for me. Thank you. That happened to me a couple times. Because people are just weird. They leave their purses and wallets like in the theater, and it's just like, oh, okay, wow. Anyway.
Well, I mean, when you're trying to get busy in the theater, sometimes your wallet falls out of your pants because they're around your ankle.
That's true. A lot of people, man. I don't know if they still do it nowadays because of assigned seating, but back in the day, man, that was the movie theater was a horny place.
Ask Paul Rubens.
Well, that was different. Or
that was a different kind of. It was a different kind of theater too.
Man, I wish I could remember the other actor who did it, like the older actor who did it. Afterwards. Anyway, I don't bring this all up because there's a new debate, I guess, or a new thing. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But you go out to eat, right? You go out to eat. You have yourself a meal, and what do you do at the end of a meal at a restaurant? You pay the bill and you tip.
Typically. Yeah.
And more people, more and more servers are getting bold. And what it used to be, I've seen some of the receipts where, and I don't know if they're doing this just to get a rise out of people, but like I saw one where they gave you the suggestions, 15, 18, 20%. And the guy gave the receipt, scratched out the 15 and the 18 and just circled the 20 and said thank you, even though he hadn't been paid yet, right? He hasn't been tipped yet. So it looks like tipping is like now on the it wasn't Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson didn't no Mel Gibson did. It was like some other actor who was caught touching himself in an adult theater. It was not Mel Gibson though. But tipping is now kind of like on the block because I don't know about you, but how often do you find yourself ordering food delivered versus food in restaurant? Like here we go sit down in a restaurant. Do you ever get? I
go to restaurants way more than I order food. I might order something literally like once every 3 months. Yeah. Because it's just I can't justify it.
Because more and more, again, there's this rise of people who are saying tipping is off now. Like, nobody's tipping anymore. we're all the people who were tipping. I used to make X amount of dollars over the summertime with tips, and now I can barely make a third of that, right? Because people, I don't know if I think people are just not going out anymore, and I think tipping is becoming harder to do because, you know, for whatever reason, I'm not going to go into that why it is, but so my question to you is, how are you as it like? Have you found yourself finding it harder to tip big, or do you normally tip big?
I growing up, the guy that I was working for, he always told me to overtip. Always over.
Well, define over tipping. What is over? What is considered over tipping?
What is whatever the standard is? Go above that.
Right.
Whatever what 18 I think is what the standard is. So 15 to 18, something like that. 20. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of going all over the place, but 20 more recently, I guess. Then.
Yeah.
I'm like a 25% dude.
Really good. I don't think I'm a 25% dude.
Like I that job sucks. They don't get paid shit.
No, they don't. And I agree. I mean, I paid 20. I paid 22%. Like,
I mean, not all the time, right? And especially right now, I'm not fucking doing no 25. But
no.
You know, I make sure that like whatever it is, I make sure to go at least a couple bucks over that because they're not making a lot of money, like hourly.
No, right? Yeah. No, they're not. They're not. It's
and when you tip people, you know, well. Especially like an in-store Starbucks, like inside of a grocery store Starbucks, with like that has, you know, 5 employees as opposed to a brick and mortar, right? You tip those people well, and they take care of you. The Starbucks that I've been going to since I moved in here to this place, but even before I went to that spot, always tipped them. You know, made sure to tip them at least $1.
Yeah, of course.
And they always take care of me, even now. Like, I'll go in there. When I told them I lost my job, I don't think I paid for a coffee for like a month. Anytime I went in there, I'm like, hey, can I, let me grab what I usually grab. And instead of charging me the fucking whatever normal price my drink is, I would see on the thing, they would charge me like for a small regular coffee. Like, hey, don't even worry about tipping us. We know you don't have a job right now. It's cool. You've done well over the years to us. We'll take care of you now.
I mean, that's really nice. That's very generous. And Ginger says 20 is average, I guess. Licious Mate, it looks like he's with you on the tipping here. It says, you see why Starbucks and independent coffee shops have the cup near the cashier so you can give whatever you want. That's the way all tips should be. I pay by card, so I usually just click the thing that says add whatever amount to the thing.
At the old dispensary, we had big like fish bowls. In the marijuana industry, you aren't actually allowed to take tips, dink tips officially.
Right.
But
they're gifts.
We had a karma jar. Give us, you put your, donate for good karma. And then we take those giant fish bowls to the bank and change in $400 or $500 worth of change. But yeah, it's I mean, it's nice. Even in this order fulfillment position, after fulfilling orders, people have handed me like, a small handful of money. I'm like, all I did was fulfill your order. No different than anywhere else. Okay, I'm not going to say no. Thanks.
Well, I mean, that's kind of tipping culture, especially in the U.S. That's why it's always weird, because you don't know like who you're supposed to tip, right? You get a haircut, you tip the barber or the stylist. But you get your plumbing done, do you tip the plumber?
Yeah.
You get something delivered
if you can.
Well, okay, so
whether that be getting the dude a fucking Red Bull, while he's doing work for you, or you're in the middle of making a lunch and you're like, hey man, I got a little extra. A lot of guys are going to say no, right? But it's a thought. And if you have the cash, yes, you tip everybody. That's what I get for working for a fucking Italian that thought he was a mobster. But yeah, keep the change.
Sure.
If the place says they don't take tips, right?
Yeah.
I have said it like, all right, you see this 20 here? I'm just gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna walk away when this transaction's over. What you guys do with it when I leave, I don't give a shit.
Wait staff. So Ginger says wait staff should be salaried with a livable wage. There's a restaurant here that the wait staff are paid a salary and have benefits, vacation, and sick days. I agree. I think that a lot of European countries are like that, right? Like when I went to Europe and Japan, well, Japan specifically, you insult them if you tip, right? Like that's an insult. You're not supposed to tip them. They're supposed to give you excellent service and treat you like a king, because that's the right thing to do as a service person. Here in the U.S., it's incentivized, right? We're gonna treat you like crap if you don't give us money, right? If you don't give us extra on top of what you've already paid. So pay the bill, the tax, then give us more, and we'll treat you nicely, right? So it's a little off, right? It's a little, but like think of have you ever called a call center to get stuff fixed? Yeah. Like a TV. Where's their tip, right? They should get a tip. Like, that's why I feel like tip culture is crazy. Because technically everyone deserves one, because everyone is like
providing some kind of a service, right?
Exactly. Everyone's kind of providing a service, and they get nothing, right? Like, I provide a service. I help people. Like, for the company I work for, I'm technically helping people who are hurt and like can't do stuff. But I'm not going to get anything from them, which is okay because they're hurt and they can't do stuff. They're in pain. I'm not going to I don't want anything from them. But okay.
But is okay, devil's advocate here, I guess, right? But is not a yearly bonus kind of like a tip?
It is, but it's a tip from the company that's already paying me pretty good. Right, like it's a tip from the people that are already doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, okay, I didn't think about it. I didn't think that far ahead.
Versus, like the service guys, like you, who, whether or not your company is paying you what you deserve, you will get tipped because that's the expectation. You're doing a service for other people, where tipping is kind of like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to give them extra money because they did a thing that I asked them to do, and they did it with a smile on their face, right? Or they did it fast, or they did it in a way that like made my life a million times easier. Listeners made has a point. Do I tip my minister for not keeping the Sunday service too long? You better. You tip him. You tip him by putting a little more into the tithings box.
If religion's taught us anything, is that God sucks at fucking money management.
Well, true. But he also expects you to give money. Like, it's in the Bible somewhere where you're supposed to give him money anyway. So like, there's an expectation of giving the dude cash. So just give a little extra. The $2 you put in the offering plate. Put another buck in there just for and put a little note saying, for the priest, for the minister. You get an extra buck.
I went to a restaurant recently where they pay their people well enough that officially this restaurant does not do tips.
Right.
But it was inquired during the eating experience if this person, the waiter, were to be tipped. Would it be flat refused, or is one of these things where you have to handshake it and put it in your hand as I handshake you, or can I just hand it to you, or do you got to leave it on table? And the waiter said, officially, we don't take tips, but if you were to hand your bill to me and there's a tip in there, I'm not going to say no to it. He said, we just don't talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I am like my movie theater experience. We're not supposed to get tipped, but they're like, sometimes they just want to give you that extra $1 or that their change, even though it's just their change. They're like, just take my change.
And that's definitely the way it was at the dispensary, which is part of the way it was kind of structured, really.
And then you just like, well,
if you have $1.50 in change after every transaction, you might as well just throw it in the tip jar.
Kind of builds up a little bit. Yeah.
The thing that I'm doing now, technically, I didn't read anything upon starting here that, tips were expected or you were expected to report them or anything. So there's a big ass smile every time somebody hands me a handful of money for just handing them things. That's cool.
Again, but it's the behind the scenes stuff, right? It's all
right. I guess
stuff.
I did something for them that they don't have to do anymore.
Yeah.
I get that.
Exactly. Like you made their life that much easier.
Right.
Like your whole job is making the lives of other people that much easier. Right. Actually, that's the job of most people.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. But you just made my job sound so much more important than it actually is. It made me feel kind of good there for a second.
Well, because it's true though, right? Like your job is.
We'll talk about this job once I moved on, like I have with all the other jobs, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, every job you've ever had though was making someone else's life easier in some way, shape, or form, right?
In the last 10 years, that is a pretty factual statement. Yes.
Unless you were, and that's every person. Everyone's job is kind of like that, right? Like everyone's job for the most part is to make everyone else's life a little bit easier in some way, shape, or form. Which is why I'm like, okay, other countries have it right. Like, yeah, like Ginger said, pay everyone well, give them all the benefits, because that's how the rest of the world works. We're the only ones that are weirdly behind. We're the only weird ones.
Yeah, but that's not
European.
That's like not capitalism, Francis.
But other countries are capitalist too. It's just that we love
just trying to be a smart ass.
We just love to put, what? But I feel like this is what tipping is. And this is the last thing I'll say before I get to this next thing I want to talk about. But this is what tipping is. It's showing off, right? It shows off that not A, you can not only just afford the meal, but B, you can go ahead and pat the head of the person who gave you the service, sort of, right? Like, here you go. You need this more than I do, right? Type of deal. Like, here, take this, right? Even though maybe you're getting paid well, maybe like that one restaurant you went to, maybe you're being paid well, maybe you don't need it. But this is our way of saying, you did good, kid. High five. It's a monetary high five. It's like, you did good, kid. High five. It's not condescending. It's not patronizing.
Right.
It's, we did it. we made something happen. You and I did.
This was successful. This was a successful experience.
There you go. Exactly. And it's a successful experience. And that's kind of like, instead of just saying, instead of just being like, hey, you did a great job, a real high five. You did a great job, high five, and a tenner. Enjoy.
Yeah.
So
here's a hearty handshake with a 10 slipped in there.
Yeah.
Those I enjoyed those. Those were always fun. I did that actually to a security guard at a venue here, because he didn't tell me to stop smoking weed the entire show, which, you're not supposed to be doing in public. And he saw me doing it the whole show, and he didn't care. And I approached him. I had a 10 folded up in my palm. I was, pinky pinching it. And I walked up and said, "Hey, man." I shook his hand. I said, "I really appreciate it." I put my other hand over his hand so he couldn't pull away. I could, release the 10 in his hand, and he felt it, and he went, "Nope. This is my job. This is what I do. I'm just here to have fun and make sure everybody's safe." And I said, "Yeah, I know, but thanks. This is me trying to say thanks to you specifically."
It's a high five.
Yeah, just take it.
It's a high five.
I said, "I'm going to let my hands go, and I'm going to walk away." So either there's going to be a 10 on the ground, or you're going to pick it up and put it in your pocket. Enjoy a six-pack. Have a good evening. Thank you.
There were some places, because that's different. Security guard, that's a little different, right? Like, there's no expectation.
Right.
The places where they expect it, like a Cold, you have Cold Stone, right?
Uh,
Cold Stone Creamery.
yeah, that's the place
The
where
ice cream
they
place that
chop up the stuff on the. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So in the early 2000s, when you tipped them, they had a
Did
number
they
of
sing a
songs that they
song?
had.
Yeah.
They sang songs that were based off of ice cream. So they like redid songs in the form of like singing about ice cream. So I don't remember what the songs were, but they were always like everyone who was working sang a ditty about ice cream. And then they'd sing the ice cream song when you gave them like a buck in the thing, right? And people would constantly just give them money to keep them continuing to sing. That I'm like, I wish they'd bring that back because they stopped doing that. They stopped making tipping fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like Joe's Crab Shack, which I haven't seen one in years, so I don't know if they still exist. Joe's Crab Shack was like a
You're right. I actually haven't thought about that place in a minute, and yeah.
where they had shirts that said I have crabs or I got crabs. Um, they used to do every half hour they would dance. They would have like a dance thing in the middle of your meal. So they would stop what they were doing, whether they were serving you or whatever, and they would dance in between the tables for like, I don't know, a minute or something, and then go back to serving you again. Right? It's like they're they're like a Casa Bonita style entertainment section, right? What's that one with the animals? What's the one with the animals? Oh, Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, jeez.
Rainforest Cafe would right.
Here
Rainforest Cafe would.
Go ahead.
They would have like it would storm every once in
Yeah.
a while, right? And the animals would get all crazy, and
I always remember that place as being the most fucking humid fucking part of a building ever. Like you just go in there and it was just like, oh my God, it's so hot in here.
It was awful. Ginger says Joe's Crab Shack used to be good, and now it's utter crap. It became utter crap and overpriced.
I'm happy to say that there's still one in the city I live in.
I guess see if there's anyone near me because I went a couple of times. But yeah, Joe's Crab Shack. Oh yeah, there's one. Oh God. Okay, there's one like miles from me, but that's okay. So there's a couple of Joe's Crab Shacks.
Well, see, I mean, you going to Joe's Crab Shack or any other seafood place, that's not scary. That's not scary because the coast is fucking 2 hours from you, whatever, right?
Oh well, yeah.
Like even if it's an exotic fish that gets shipped in, the coast is right there, right? We don't got no coast, so like I'm just weary about eating seafood in Colorado. It's I don't know.
Any inland state, seafood is suspect at best, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'd rather just be in a coastal city and have my seafood there.
Yeah, we have a couple of places where it's a restaurant over the ocean, and they do seafood bakes. So they just toss whatever they found in the ocean onto a platter, and like it's all cooked and all boiled or whatever. You just pick it from there: shrimp, lobster, crab for like $10 or something, like super cheap. It's pretty amazing. So yes, okay, true. I live in a state where seafood, if you like seafood, you're in pretty good hands.
I just think that it's a much safer bet being in a coastal city, a coastal state, as opposed to being inland and have. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's something about going to the grocery store and just seeing fillets and sides of fish and crab or whatever just laid out on ice. This is just ice, just chilling. It's not even covered. It's just laying on ice. I don't know.
Well, before the show, we were talking about supermarkets, and my Asian supermarket here has a lot of fish and like crabs, like stuff that's moving still. Like a lot of them are still like alive and moving around. So I guess again that's the benefit. We don't have to put it on ice. We get to kill them on the spot.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
get to
even
kill
like,
them right there.
even what the hell is that thing called in Seattle where they throw the fish around?
Oh, the fish. It's a fish market.
Yeah, the fish. Even that to me is a little sus. like,
It
like,
is.
why is it all in the open air and it's just laying on ice and why you throw it a
Where
fucking?
do you want them to be? Wait, where do you want the fish to be?
I don't know. It
If not
just
in the open
seems.
air.
It just.
Water.
I don't know. It just seems like it should be hung in a freezer or something, like a side of beef.
I hate to take it in Asian markets. They're in tanks. They're in fish tanks. Like a lot of the fresh fish are in fish tanks.
I'm
and then
okay
you
with
just
that.
take
They're
them
still
off.
alive. They they take
They
him out of
are,
the
yeah,
thing. They
they're-
fish him out of the tank. They slaughter it and they give it to you. I'm fine with that.
Exactly.
I'm totally cool with that. At least I know it was alive a second ago.
Well, how do you feel about meat though? Like cows and
We've
chickens
talked
weren't-
about this.
Yeah.
You can walk around with an entire side of beef strapped to your back like a backpack all day long. You could sleep on it. You could dry hump it. You could do whatever. You could roll around in the dirt with it all day long at 90 degrees. It's fucking fine. You just cut a steak off and cook it. You're good to go. You walk outside. No. Yeah, you walk outside with a chicken strapped to your neck, and next thing you know, everything you touch dies.
Well, yeah. Nobody wants the salmonella. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I just
But
don't.
good
I just
side of
don't. I
steak,
just don't
yeah.
understand like food, anything to deal with food aside from eating it. Like, I just,
Yeah.
I don't,
No,
I
I
don't,
get
I don't, I don't get it. I just don't. I don't like.
I get it.
Yeah, I have.
I mean-
I have so little interest in food preparation. Like,
What you need is a personal cook so that you never have to think about it again. Yes, just someone making you food every day.
here's where we do the
Just someone
commercial for the fucking, the mail-in
for
microwave.
HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, HelloFresh lets you make your own meals.
See,
blah, 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 blah.
We do so well at this, and we just had people that wanted to sponsor us. So
I'm telling you,
naturally.
one day when we have when you finally get Manscaped to like sponsor the show, and we have to find a way to talk about shaving our balls every once in a
Oh,
while.
I'll just stand up and shave my balls.
I don't think they want that. I don't think they want that. I'm always fascinated. Okay, well, before we talk about this, it's Pokemon Day. I don't know if you knew that.
It is.
Pokemon Day.
It is.
And guess who sent out a very special message? Everyone about Pokemon Day.
Was it our good
Veronica
friend
Taylor.
Veronica Taylor? Yeah.
She did. She sent out a message to everyone, and I'm like, where is she? Why isn't she on the show? We know who she is. We know Ash Ketchum. Why is she not talking to us?
Busy lady.
Uh,
Busy lady she is.
It is. Listeners may says basically it comes down to how proteins break down. Some break down at different temperatures. Well, okay, sure, but we're just talking about how comfortable we feel with our levels of raw meat being just thrown around. Because yeah, I mean, Josh is right. Even though they do raw chicken sushi in Japan, but they do raw everything there. Raw
Sure.
horse, raw, all that stuff. Yeah, Veronica Taylor sent out a message. I'm like, oh man, oh, where are you? I mean, I tweet you, but you don't know who I am. You know who Josh is, but you don't know who I am. And I was just like, it would have been great to have her on the show today to talk about Pokemon Day.
I mean, if I had known it was Pokemon Day, maybe there could have been something to arrange for ahead of time. But I didn't know that it was Pokemon Day till I rolled over out of bed this morning and scrolled through the old Twitters, and people were talking about it.
But she hasn't voiced Ash in like a decade plus, though.
Yeah, but that's what
So
she's
I'm
known for.
kinda-
She's known as
Yeah, that's true.
Ash.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done a ton of voice work in all different, different types of cartoons, but she's known as Ash.
That's true. Yeah, she needs a break.
I
Needs a
mean,
break and be on the show.
What's it? Kevin Conroy did hundreds of voices, but he was Batman.
I don't know if he did actually. Did he?
He did. okay, not hundreds, but he did more than just be Batman for 25 years.
Right. I guess not. Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently, oh wow, she was the voice of. We could talk about her being April O'Neil. I didn't know she was April O'Neil. Oh, wow.
In one of the versions of Turtles, yeah.
Yeah, one of the versions of Turtles. She has quite the career, but good for her. And she's still working. Good for her.
Exactly. And there's still and still a demand. There's still a demand for her to be at shows. So until all the millennials that grew up on Pokemon, apparently, until they have no interest in Pokemon or hearing the Pokemon's theme song, you're going to see Veronica and the theme song guy at Pokemon conventions, card conventions.
I'm a little amazed with the popularity of Pokemon at all. That there isn't, like, speaking of restaurants, a Pokemon themed restaurant. But I guess you don't want to eat Pokemon. You don't want to eat Pokemon. I guess that's why you wouldn't have a Pokemon themed restaurant.
I mean, yeah. There's I don't know what kind of restaurant. I wanted some kind of a soup restaurant where they serve a bear that's like gelatinized, I guess. So when you pour the soup broth over it, it melts.
Only in Colorado.
Well, yeah, it's here. It's up north, but I can't remember if it's a ramen joint or if it's pho or if it's. I can't remember, but
I don't remember. But have you ever eaten Rocky Mountain oysters? Having lived there?
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you deep fry anything, it's fucking delicious.
Well, it's a Colorado delicacy, and for those who don't know, they're what bull testicles, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, not the whole thing, like deep fry the whole nut. It's like it's cut.
They come in pairs.
Yeah. You have to order them in pairs.
Yeah. You have to, yeah.
But it's like thinly sliced nut meat that's deep fried.
I wasn't sure. I don't know.
You throw some ketchup on it. It's great.
Why have you never taken me to one when I've been there?
Because the only place that I knew that had them wasn't even open at the time.
Oh, we're gonna have to. Next time I'm up there, I think that's our first destination.
Okay.
I need to try that delicacy.
We'll get some Rocky Mountain oysters. I'll be like, yeah, could we get 2 orders?
I mean, again, it's what you're known for. Like, we're known for an In-N-Out, right? We're known for
we have that
food.
now.
Yeah, I know. Now you have In-N-Out. Wait till I don't. What are we known for now? Like, what is California other than, I guess, fresh seafood? But what are we known for?
Fucking putting avocado on everything.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, I'll give you that. Yeah, that's true. We put avocado on everything.
That's what makes that's what makes it California style.
No, you're not wrong. Anything that's considered California style has avocado just in it. Oh well. Anyway,
kind of makes me want to eat avocado.
Do you like avocado?
Yeah. I don't know about just like slicing one open and just, fucking going raw dog on a fucking avocado. I don't know about that, but
people like that. That's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. I mean, it's got its own little plate. I mean,
it does.
It's got a starting point. It's already got a divot. You got a good place to start.
Twist and open.
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy.
I was trying to make something dirty out of that, but I couldn't think of anything.
It's all right. You don't have to. It's not required.
Yeah, well, I tried. Hey, so I got really bored this afternoon.
Which happens.
It happens.
Everyone, yeah.
Which, when you only have 2 days off, it really shouldn't happen. You should really take advantage of your time off. But I guess I did by not doing anything. Plus, it snowed this morning. It was not ideal weather to do anything outside. Right. And while also trying to contemplate what we were going to talk about tonight, because I'd show you, but it's all blurry and whatnot. But I have nothing written on the piece of paper in front of me. Usually I have things written down. The only thing
we talk about anything today.
Yeah, right. Well, and we've been talking for 3 hours, but whatever. They only get to see an hour of it or so.
Right.
But I stumbled upon a weird YouTube section of YouTube.
No. Oh, that's never a good sign. Okay.
Yeah, when you start off like that, right? We've all been to the arcade, and you see, or the Dave and Buster's, or One Up or whatever place to go play arcade games, and you see the coin pusher game, and you think to yourself, "What a waste! What a waste!" And then you go over there and you dump a bunch of coins or quarters into it to try and win the thing because you see all of these coins or quarters are about to fall, and if I just spin $5, they'll fall, and I'll get all that. I'll get all of that.
Exactly. Yes, that's the feeling I get every time. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So
feeling.
Those are quarters, and maybe you got $5 of quarters.
Yeah.
Right, and you're playing for the quarters that are in the machine, and maybe bonus tokens, maybe bonus tickets.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For the overpriced ticket stuff in the prize vault.
I mean, sure, you could spend $100 on tickets to get like a stuffed animal, or you could spend the $7 somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, did you know, Francis, that there is a high stakes version of the coin pusher?
I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas had this.
This might be. I didn't do any research. I just watched an hour of guys making millions of dollars off of a coin pusher. Not thousands, millions of dollars. There was one game that I watched. Now, they claimed that it is a $1 billion buy-in. And this guy had some sort of, I don't know, he'd won enough objects and bonuses in other games to then basically pay this $1 billion buy-in for this coin pusher. And the whole time he was like, "Yeah, I'm down $82 million today." Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm bitching about $5 and the little Dave and Buster's one to try and win 50 quarters, and get the endorphin rush. And this guy's literally, there was a tower. I don't know how tall the tower was. Video looking through glass is always going to distort the size of things. But there's a large tower the entire tower is made up of $10,000 chips.
Okay.
It's like in, coin pusher at Dave and Buster's, you could spend $100 and nothing moves. This thing, he's spending thousands of dollars and clearing the entire playfield of actual things to win, because apparently this one, they don't count quarters. They're just, quarters are there to play the game. You only get to win what's ever in there.
Right.
And I watched it for so long because I couldn't wrap my head around, like, how do you even have this much money to begin with? How do you like go up to a coin pusher and be like, "Oh, it's $1 billion for 100 quarters"? Like, where? Sure, you can probably win that money back, that equal amount back in this machine, probably, or if not more. But how do you walk up to and be, "Yeah, that's content right there. Let me go ahead and film this"?
Well, same thing with I mean, look.
And also, if you're fucking spending that much money and gambling that much fucking money, does your channel really need to be monetized at that point?
Wow.
During your coin pushing, well, maybe. Okay, maybe you got a point. But during your coin pushing of millions. This last round, I made $83 million on that last thing, whatever it was. And then, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can be monetized. Like, go eat a bowl of dicks with your monetization.
I mean, look at us, though.
Yeah, but we don't have the money to go spend that kind of thing. And if I spent even $50,000 for 50 quarters and I ran out of quarters in that first round, whatever I'd win, I'd fucking walk away and fucking live a great life probably.
Well, Listener's Mate says that there's a TikTok for this stuff. So I mean, it's something people use. There's a whole Twitch channel of people who play poker, online poker, and they spend millions of dollars on poker. So I personally love the coin pushers. Okay, so you're talking to me here, Josh. I love a good coin push. I love they'll do like you said. There's towers, right? There's this particular coin pusher that it in front of you. I guess they do it in this one too, right? With the chips or whatever, with the money. But they build tower in front of you, and you just kind of watch it grow higher and higher and higher.
Oh,
Every
this
time
one.
You put in more quarters.
Oh, okay. No, this is literally
it shapes it into a tower.
Oh.
So it's like the machine shapes it into a tower.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what this one does.
No, this one just literally just pushes, and it pushes objects off. It's got you drop them into one shelf. The shelf is going back and forth. It may push some off the shelf, which then pushes onto a bigger playing field, and then things drop in front of you. Yeah, that kind of coin pusher.
Essentially, the same thing, sort of, but it's a bunch of coins. That they somehow they collect coins and build towers out of them, so that when it falls over, you're getting $20 in quarters.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen something like that. I'll need to look that up because that would be fun. That would just be fun to see.
It is. But I don't know. I get a kick out of it. I do personally love a good coin push. So that's my. I don't know if I'd like watching it. I don't know if that's a lot of fun watching someone who's, way wealthier than I am, putting in millions of dollars worth of, just I don't know. It's like watching someone sell and buy stocks. It's like, I guess that's fun. I guess that's a good time.
What? There's a video of a musician. I want to say it was a musician that went to the stock market to do research, I guess, and was like, that is the most vile place I've ever been in. I want to say, was it the guy? Who's the guy? Speaking of Genesis, the other singer from Genesis.
I don't know.
The piano man, that guy. We didn't start the fire. That guy.
Oh God, I don't remember. I don't know.
That guy.
I want to say Billy Joel, but it's not Billy Joel.
No, that is Billy Joel.
Oh, it is Billy Joel.
I don't think he was in Genesis.
No, I don't think he was either. But sure, Billy Joel, sure, okay.
Maybe he was. I don't know. That wasn't a prog rock guy.
I'm pretty sure. Well, anyway, go on.
I was just saying I wasn't a prog rock guy, so I don't know.
No, but what about Billy Joel? What did he do? Oh, he was the one who did the stock exchange thing.
Yeah, I think it was him that went to the stock exchange and just left there being like, that is horrible. That is the worst place I've ever been in.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Every financial advisor online especially will tell you diversify your portfolio, diversify.
First I got to get a portfolio.
I don't even know I don't know what that means.
Wasn't that one of the brands of folders you can have in middle school or high school? It was like
peachy folders, yeah.
What was the yellow one that had like all the sports things on the front?
Yeah, the peachy.
Oh, that was
They were
peachy?
peachy folders for me. Yeah. And then you had what do you call it? You had the Trapper Keeper.
Trapper Keeper, yeah. It was a 3-ring binder with a Velcro thing.
Yeah.
A Velcro lid. and a pencil holder.
Pencil case. Yeah, you had a pencil case. Or pencil bag, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's laptops and, iPads.
That'd be sweet to have a Trapper Keeper case for your laptop.
They make them.
What?
Yeah. There's like laptop cases that look like books. There's laptop cases that look like the Lisa Frank ones too, because that was the big one back in the day, where Lisa Frank rainbow colored animals and like unicorns and stuff like that for the girls, of course, and for the guys it was Transformers and Ninja Turtles and all that stuff, and you'd have that on a Trapper Keeper. But
yeah, I would. If I had a laptop, I would totally get a Trapper Keeper case. That's awesome.
No, Etsy's your friend and that stuff.
Etsy is pretty friendly in that sense. I mean, if eBay don't got it, Etsy do. That should be their slogan. We should market for them.
What was the other one?
If Sega don't, Nintendo do. Wait, no.
What was the old Pluto for Pluto or whatever?
We like old shit too.
There you go.
that one needs some softening of some sort.
Yeah, you need it to be more
marketable.
Friendly.
Yeah, consumer friendly.
But no Pluto. And I'm gonna now that I know that Netflix is raising their prices again next year, I'm gonna see about getting more of those free, like Tubi and all that stuff.
You might not have to, Francis, because something that just popped into my head that I read earlier today might be the solution. I don't remember where it was out of. It was out of an Asian country, but they have developed a disc about, it is the same size of a DVD, but can contain 1 petabyte?
Yeah, petabyte. Yeah.
Petabyte of information, which they put it into movie terms, which was about 200,000 movies on a disc.
Well, given that our largest hard drives are terabytes now, a petabyte's going to be like, I mean, that's a lot of information.
Yeah. I just
especially
thinking about it. How compressed would all your media be? It would probably look like shit.
I'm thinking if it's in petabytes, it wouldn't have to be. It could be uncompressed at that size.
That's true.
I mean, you could have a good number of now that Best Buy and Target and all that stuff has stopped selling digital
physical
media. Yeah. Yes, Pluto TV is taking the place of syndication that Delicious made. As a matter of fact, that's what I love about Pluto TV is that it's just a bunch of old
shit.
Syndication means nothing anymore. Right. What I was gonna say is like syndication. Like we used to watch reruns, right, back in the day when TV during the summertime, they didn't do new programming. They did reruns of old shows. So you watched Three's Company, or you watched like old episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies.
You got to see the possibly see the episodes you missed when they aired originally.
Yeah. Or it would be a bunch of syndicated TV like Hercules or whatever. Like all of those shows where it didn't have a network. They just kind of tossed it in there for people to watch. Now it's just like, I don't know. It's always new. I don't know if people look at old TV anymore, which is kind of sad.
I found all kinds of fun stuff on those retro channels.
I did too.
Celebrity bowling. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Getting to watch, before I got the box set, having Alf available to me was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Chips is on one of those channels. Chips is a fun show. Knight Rider, Transformers now. Like, it's great to have those channels. It's great to have programming. I mean, and it's not just Pluto. It's Freevee as well through Amazon.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They've got some great stuff on there, too. And some of the things that are on there are dedicated channels. So if you're really into Heathcliff, not Heathcliff. That's not who has Pink Panther.
Garfield.
There's a Pink Panther channel on Freevee. That's all it plays is fucking hours upon hours of Pink Panther. Tubi, Pluto, Freevee.
And Freevee.
They should all get together and we're free and we're into old shit.
Did you mention that Freevee was an Amazon thing too?
I did, yeah.
I don't know if you did, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Freevee, yeah.
Which I think Amazon there's a class action lawsuit against Amazon right now, because of their new ad campaign thing where people have already paid Amazon Prime to have ad-free TV, and now they've added a thing where just for $2 more a month, you get rid of the ads, and people are like, but that's what we paid for. Is to not have ads. So there, I believe, I don't know how far it went. I saw it flashed across my news feed the last 2 weeks that there's either it's happening or it's being talked about or it's in the action part of the class action. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I'm happy to join that because I was pissed.
I'm pissed.
And even though I don't really watch it that often,
I watch a lot of it.
It's like, why would you do that? Why would you spend another 12? I mean, yeah, okay, it's $24 a year,
but you're already getting 140, 160, something like that a month. Not a month, a year.
A year, yeah.
Which, I buy enough stuff through Amazon that it pays for itself as far as like the Amazon Prime aspect of it. So I don't really mind paying that premium for that, but I shouldn't have to deal with commercials for $140 a year, $160 a year.
What's funny to me though is if Amazon said, "Oh, we're gonna up the price of our Prime by like $24," I don't know if anyone would have. I mean, people would have complained. They wouldn't have been mad. I'm like, oh, God, we gotta pay more, but we already use it anyway. Whatever.
Right.
We would have reasoned it in our head.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they're making it a separate cost, it's like, no, we want you to take out these stupid ads.
The Amazon, depending on how you watch it, it lets you know that you're a cheap fuck too, because down in the left-hand corner of my Amazon Prime Video watching device, down in the left-hand corner, it has a little thing that says ad. It has a shadowed cross through it that you could make a solid cross if you paid for it.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm not a fan.
We've talked about how the streaming services have, they what's the term? What's the saying? You live long enough to see yourself become the enemy, or the villain, or whatever. We've reached that point where
they're cable companies now.
Yeah, like what Paramount's getting ready to envelop the cock or something, so it would be like Paracock, or
a lot of companies are eating up other companies.
So, Paramount just ate up Discovery, or Discovery ate them up, whatever it is, and now Paramount's going to try and eat this other to eat the cock. And
he just wanted to say it. He just wanted to say that. That's all you. That's the only reason why you're bringing this up is you want to say that. No,
maybe.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's stupid. I'm annoyed. Like, I'm annoyed by that. But what are you gonna do? I guess other than
pay the $24 and not watch commercials.
I'm just not watching.
I mean, ultimately, that's the old school tactic, right? Is to vote with your dollar.
Yeah, there's. I can bring this up because I think I found it really interesting. But as we wrap up, because I know it's getting late, but the last thing I want to talk about, because we're talking about like paying or paying with your, or using money to kind of dictate how you feel about a company. There's this game coming out called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay,
isn't it already out?
It's coming out. No, it's out. It's out Thursday.
What was the other Part 7 remake
remake is remake, rebirth, and then there's going to be a third one.
Okay.
It's a trilogy. Anyway, so remake got an update in anticipation of rebirth, and there's a character in there with massive breasts. Okay.
Tifa?
Her name is Tifa.
Okay.
Tifa, yeah. So Tifa's this character with humongous breasts. Like, that's kind of part of her character. It's like she has big boobs.
Yeah, I know which character you're talking about.
So they did an update for this game that they sold and put out 3 years ago called Remake. Remake has been out for a while. They gave an update where this character was wearing a shirt that showed cleavage, and the update put an undershirt on this person's clothing so that you can't see as much cleavage. And this community, or Twitter, went crazy. They're like, this is censorship. This is BS. I was gonna buy this game. Now I want Square Enix to burn. I want it to crash to the ground because they covered up this girl's boobs. Even though later on in the new game, she's wearing a bikini where her breasts are practically falling out, right? But there's just this one 10-second clip, this one like really short clip where you can kind of see her cleavage. They kind of cover it up a little bit, right? Just because it makes it consistent with all the other her designs on the other games. She's covered up a bit more. So they just made it consistent all the way around. But people were pissed. They're like, we want, of course, sending death threats and being mad and like all this stuff over this thing. And I'm like, I want to sympathize. Like, I want to understand and be like, you're right. You should be mad. But should you be this? Should you be this angry
over digital content? Not even a real thing.
Exactly. It's not even a real person. It's an animated CGI character for less than a 10-second clip. It's not even like they're constantly in this uniform or clothing. It's 10 seconds of like a little bit of cleavage, and people are pissed, right? And again, later on in the new game, breasts are falling out of this bikini top. Like, you get the cleavage you want, but even more of it in another part, like later on in this game. So stop being mad. But you saying that just like, wow, like, pay with the, these guys are like, protest with your dollar. Don't buy this game. If you pre-ordered it, get your refund because it's not worth it anymore. Now that
you got bad luck there because GameStop won't refund your pre-order. You just transfer that money to another game.
And then the illustrator says they should just fix it where if you want to see animated tits, then you could put it in a cheat code. Well, no. So they already have mods because this game's on PC. They already have mods that fix it. So whatever. They have mods that allow you to remove the quote unquote censorship or the undershirt. Ginger says, are the boobs an intergalactic part of the game? No, then shut up and sit down. She's not real. Exactly.
Yeah.
But people like literally lost their minds. Like, I have been fascinated because it's still going on. It's been going on for the last 2 days because it just got updated yesterday. So for the last 2 days, people are just up in arms. Oh, integral, not intergalactic. I get it. Okay. Integral. Okay. But yeah, so people have just gone insane over this, and it's something that I don't really quite understand. Like, I'm getting the game because I want to play the game.
Sure.
But like the fact that people are just like, I protest, don't buy this game.
I mean, but but they do the same thing with movies, right?
Yeah.
Or TV shows about whatever fandom people have. I mean, look at how many people said no to the International Guide to the Intergalacticness. What's that movie? It was a book about the fucking video game world where all the different IPs exist. What's that called?
I don't know.
You know, where like, you know, it was like Godzilla was fighting alongside with Optimus Prime and G.I. Joe and humans that had avatars in a digital world.
Oh, Ready Player One?
That's the one.
Okay.
A bunch of people didn't want to go see that movie because it wasn't, you know, the dialogue wasn't, you know, word for word as it was in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of people forget that, you know, stuff like that. It's
Good night, Ginger.
night. Stuff is made for general audiences. It's not made for the nerds that fund all the stuff.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. Look, I only bring it up because I think it's silly. I think it's really just like really overblown. But and also I think it's funny. Like, I think it's really funny that, like, because now they're like, oh, but they're gonna censor everything, right? At some point.
Oh
Like,
God, they put a digital shirt on a digital character that I used to go and beat myself off to every night.
yeah. Well, that they're afraid that the like the bikini scene will get censored in the future or whatever, and I'm like, who cares? Is the game good? Is it fun? Do you enjoy yourself? Like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know why that's such a big deal. But that's the hill they want to die. It's the hill everyone wants to die on. Like, all these people just want to die on this hill.
You gotta pick your battles, man. Like, you know, like, what is it? Was it worth getting arrested for fucking Szechuan sauce? You know, like, really? There's a throw. There's a
one
throwback
guy.
to people.
The one guy who like jumped on the counter. And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like,
had a temper tantrum.
well, I mean, if you want to call that a temper tantrum, I think that was just.
There was the one guy who screamed and yelled and stomped and like was on top of the counter.
Yeah, I
like,
think that was just content.
no, maybe.
But, you know, or people losing their shit. I mean, I'm one of those people. I am one of those people. Because when they fucking came out with the Wolverine movie, you know, they first cast Wolverine in the X-Men movie, and they cast a fucking 9-foot skinny motherfucker to play Logan. I was like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, Logan is 5'10" at best and thick as fuck.
5'10" is actually really tall for Logan. He's like 5'4".
Okay, well, whatever.
He's small. He's a small
whatever.
dude. Yeah.
Right? He's not played by a fucking 6-foot motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I'm one of those people that, like, why didn't they get anybody else in the world to play Wolverine? I still kind of feel that way, honestly. But
Yeah.
it's been 20 years. I've gotten some therapy. You know, I just decided, whatever. They're going to do whatever with this version of Wolverine. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Danny DeVito.
I think Danny DeVito would have made a better fucking Wolverine than this fucking guy. So then I just started. So I just started slashing.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when we get to that part, there's nothing else to say. That's it.
That's
I
me.
think.
Good.
Yeah, we gave good juice.
Yeah.
We gave good juice for
Extra
not having.
long for not being around last week. Yeah.
Yeah, and not having anything written down for 2 weeks. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Thank you, Phil Collins, for giving us content.
Damn it. I couldn't think of any fucking song titles or lyrics right there. Poignant to what you just said.
Wow.
Not just belt out any fucking, you know, lyric or
Right. Right.
but in the spirit, in the cadence of Phil Collins. No, that doesn't work either. Where can people find you on the internet, Francis?
AK, the other guy, on Twitter, Instagram, and now that you can freely join Blue Sky, you can go ahead and find me there on Blue Sky, because now it's open to everybody.
So the other 12 people that have been trying to get into it can finally get in there for free.
Yeah, it's
without
open. It's
invite.
open. Yeah, no invite required. Go to censorsarcasm.net, and I'm not on Threads. because I can never delete threads is the only reason why I'm not on threads, because I don't want to think that I can't remove myself from easily, which I can with the other one. So not yet, listeners made. When they fix that, I'm there. And of course, Super Geeked Up tomorrow, live show,
yes,
improv, all that good stuff.
I don't think he's here, but it's Mark's Piles' birthday today, so happy birthday, Mark's.
I owe you. I have 2 stories for you coming soon.
Oh, okay, cool. For Mark's, not me.
Yeah, not for
to
you.
the show. Okay,
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Was that everything for you?
That's it for me.
Cool. Well, you can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303_ninja on. Wait, did I? 303_ninja on the Twitters. 303 just look up 303 Ninja. You'll find it. Something will pop up.
Josh Hawks.
Look up Josh Hawks.
How many people are named Josh Hawks?
There's a famous European football player named Josh Hawks and an actor.
Never mind then. Oh.
So I couldn't, even if I was talented enough to be an actor, I couldn't be Josh Hawks. I'd have to be Josh Hawks the 17th.
Sad.
I would just pick 17 just because that'd be fun. Be like that one guy from Heroes. Instagram, YouTube, all them places. Look us up. We'll be here next week to have some kind of fun. The music's ending. I have nothing else to say. I'm tired. See ya.